Breathe in, breathe out. You take everything a step at a time, day by day. When everything is happening all at once, like it is right now, that is all that you can do. We're talking NBA playoffs, MLB season, along with Sandlot Baseball Association, as well as the aftermath of a very, very interesting, peculiar, strategic, unusual NFL draft that we just witnessed that just went down. So it's all happening right now. Of course, you've got the NHL playoffs too, but we don't. Our hockey fan base isn't strong enough yet. We'll get there at some point.
Eventually. We're ready for it.
We're trying, go Rangers. But nonetheless, welcome to another edition of On the Money Podcast, here live from the epicenter of Nostalgia Mania at Casa de Money, coming to you live in living color to talk about everything that's going on, including the NBA playoffs. Not just that, but the off season that is the automatic ramifications of what's going down in the playoffs right now. Alongside me, as always, none other than the commissioner of the On the Money Sports League, my home league, Oscar O. Money Muniz.
Ladies and gentlemen, how are we doing on this fine evening? A fine evening of playoff basketball. A fine evening of hockeys. Just pucks going everywhere.
You can tell how much we know, but so much hockey's going on right now. So much hockey.
Blooper. Save that on the blooper reel. That when we hit it big, we're gonna put that. You know how Pat McAfee has like blooper reels and clips run.
We love the hockeys.
Just the Pens ain't playing in it, so I don't care.
Oh yeah, that's why you're checked out because your beloved Pens aren't in it. Rangers are doing their thing, so I'm happy about.
The Phillies won today. That's all that matters.
Phillies beat the Angels and
we have had some lackluster NBA playoff games the last couple days, but the 76ers and Knicks have been very entertaining.
Well, the Sixers,
both on the TV screen and in the chat group.
Sixers-Knicks is the best first-round series, and I don't even feel like it's close because it's not the Cavs and the Magic. The Lakers are already home, as well as the Suns. Clippers and Mavericks play tonight, and it's Game 5, tied it to a piece, so that's by default, I guess, the second most interesting. But nobody's talking about that either. They tip off at 10-10. I'm on it because I'm betting on it, but it's not one of those things where it's just like, oh, I can't wait for this game, like because that series just hasn't had the same type of energy and the conversation and the back and forth, like you were saying, as far as in the group chat, which is all basically New York and Philly. It's all happening right now. As far as that series is single-handedly carrying the first round of the NBA playoffs right now. And it makes me nervous. It worries me because I'm saying to myself, damn, like once that series is finally over, like, is this it? The next best thing to me is going to be the series that's going to be going down in the West, which is going to be the Timberwolves versus the Denver Nuggets. That is a heavyweight matchup right there. That is like what you wait for round 2 of the NBA playoffs for, is to have those two teams collide.
Yeah, what channel is the game on? Well, I got a Marcus Camby interview.
I think it's on ESPN. What up, Rob?
What we got right here?
That's the Hockeys. So yeah, I mean,
let me go on.
Lakers swept. Suns swept.
Suns, man. What are they going to do?
The Milwaukee Bucks bench somehow rallies and not just wins yesterday, but trounces the Indiana Pacers. So for all you people out there that were thinking the Pacers were some hot shit, hold your horses. I was telling you, that team don't play no type of defense. And you had Pat Beverly and Brooke Lopez and Bobby Portis out there lighting them up yesterday. Now, Game 6, gonna go back to Indy. So this is potentially the game where Indy ends up closing out that series and maybe gives themselves a day or two, depending on what happens with tomorrow night's matchup between the Knicks and the Sixers, which is going to be at 9, a different time, I guess, because there's not many games
So
left.
Ahead of time, I'm going to let everybody know, in every little chat group we're in, the fan forum, the On the Money Sports fan forum, I'm an old man. I'm probably going to be sleeping by 9:30. So I will not know what happens in that game until I wake up. So don't act like I'm avoiding it. I'm letting you know ahead. I work at 7 o'clock in the morning. I wake up at 5:30. I'm going to bed at 9:30 tomorrow. So let the chips fall where they may.
What up, Chris? Yeah, I saw it, but when I saw that, I was also sharing.
I'm sorry, God. We should have been online 20 minutes ago.
No technicality.
I'm trying to figure out this Restream's trying to change shit around to Woozy, so Wazi. It's just not real.
We're pressing buttons, bro.
So we figured it out. I look like Shawn Michaels back in the day when he's talking on AOL chat.
Nonetheless, we're here. We got it figured out. We're ready for the podcast. We're doing a live watch along of the Miami Heat and Boston Celtics right now. Go New York Knicks.
Derek White's going to get it.
Chris understands.
No airball.
Chris is part, as far as the group chats go, Chris is part of the night shift like me. We're the ones that are up until 3 a.m., 3:30 a.m. A lot of you guys, you, Noli, Mikey, you guys are the early birds.
I think Matt goes to work during the day too, doesn't he?
He's up pretty early. So you guys are like the morning shift of the
Andrew
group chat.
Too.
And
Andrew works at the school.
Tone and dropping some stuff. I usually wake up somewhere around 10 to 11 in the morning to about 70 messages depending on what's going on. And then a lot of times you guys are the ones waking up to the messages depending on what was transpiring the night before. However, it's just an active time right now. It's a super active time in sports. The most active time in sports that I could remember without any football going on. I know I've said that a couple of times before, but it's really just crazy right now. It's at a fever pitch. Like the popularity of baseball compared to the beginning of where we started this podcast and where it's at now, it's
a lot.
So it's such a big deal now.
I will say that
deal. And I love it.
I agree with it. You know, I love baseball.
I was jaded for a couple of years with baseball because of all the hoopla and everything, but like it's back right now.
Stop.
Well, it's just everything the MLB was doing, bro. Everything the MLB was doing. There was the trash can incident, but before that, with the whole steroids thing, and like you're not letting these guys into the hall. Like
it's halftime now in the Heat game.
Halftime in the Heat game, so he put on a Diet WCW and
Edge. Diet WCW.
Edge got a steel chair wearing his old trunks from WWE. But nonetheless, man, here we are. There's a lot of closeouts potentially happening. The Sixers and the Bucks keep their seasons alive. Unfortunately, the Phoenix Suns and the Lakers couldn't do the same, which leads into one of the main discussions for tonight's podcast because of the fact that these two teams are already, jettisoned to Cancun. There's rumor and innuendo already buzzing about two of the key players on those teams. Three, actually.
Yep. What up, Paul?
We got KD, Devin Booker, LeBron James.
Sixers and 7, Aaron.
You guys willing to bet on that, or are you just talking?
Listen.
I don't think anybody's willing to bet on the Sixers.
New York Knicks fans are talking about tearing ACLs, right? Well, y'all know what I said.
Yeah, your comeback was funny, dog. That was funny as hell. I popped for that because I had just seen the original comment, and then I saw what your comment was. I was like, "Yo, this shit is fucking funny."
Look at Chris. Stop it. Do you want me to say it? I hope Jalen Brunson wakes up with Diddy tomorrow.
Speaking of the Knicks, though, rumor mill is buzzing as far as the New York Knicks potentially being interested in. I just said for his leg to
fall off. That's all.
I mean, Devin Booker to the Knicks, and when you think about it, when you hear these rumors, we say to ourselves, all right, which direction is the wind blowing? Is it blowing from Phoenix or from New York? After what we just saw happen to the
I think it's going to be Phoenix. I don't think it'll be the Knicks. The Knicks are winning basketball games.
I agree. It's Phoenix because Phoenix needs to recoup. They need to recoup. They don't have a first-round pick until 2031. Phoenix Suns gave everything up for a basketball team that has no point guard. And, I mean, I like Nurkic, but, like, if it's a choice between Ayton and Nurkic, like.
I'd have kept Ayton.
Yeah.
I'd have found a way to make it work. I'd have found a way to make it healthy.
But they didn't. you get the product that you get. They are unceremoniously
And the
ousted.
Trailblazers were doing well until all the injuries started hitting them.
Time just caught up to them. Brad Beal has a no trade clause. Good point to bring that up, Aaron, because we know that if any of the three are going to be moved, it ain't going to be
They
him.
called that travel on Maxey 4-point play. We wouldn't even be here. You're right. Just like if they had called the jersey tug and the timeout that should have been awarded, but you told us, you Knicks fans, to stop it.
Well,
This is how it goes.
Well, if Maxey doesn't give the ball up to the other player, like he just has the ball, there you go. He's holding the ball up like freaking Rafiki was holding Simba at Pride Rock. Like, hold on to the basketball.
You know what pissed me off yesterday?
Maxey redeemed himself with last place before.
When the Sixers had a little bit of a lead and they were starting to gain momentum, Tobias Harris takes the ball off the rebound, goes up front in two people, takes a jump shot, misses while Maxey's at the top of the key, wide open, nobody around him. What the hell are you doing, bro?
I laugh every time Tobias Harris does something wrong because I know that there are millions of people just bashing him at one time.
I never agree with the contract.
Cursing
You can
him
go
out.
back to the beginnings of the On the Money Sports franchise when we were starting this podcast year 2 when I was saying he's not the guy to keep. I kept saying it and saying it and saying it.
I mean, I don't know any Sixers fan that was happy about that contract. Realistically, it just, you know, the Sixers.
And Jimmy Butler always talking about Tobias Harris over me. It was never Tobias Harris over you. It was Ben Simmons and Brett Brown over you, which was the dumbest mistake
Still the wrong
ever.
choice. Still the wrong decision.
And where are those guys now?
For Miami?
Brett Brown and
Oh, I don't know.
Ben
where
Simmons.
I have no idea where Brett Brown is. Benny is out in Brooklyn doing nothing. Getting paid to do nothing. Getting paid handsomely to do nothing, might I add.
stop you pulling an Elon team motto of we didn't lose, we just ran out of time. Play like Herm Edwards says to play. Play to win the game.
Play to win the game, man. That's what it's all about. You play to win the game. Sixers versus Knicks. Which team will choke? I love it. Because Paul's a Boston fan, I believe.
Yep. Yes, he is.
I love that. So he's looking at it from the perspective of he knows the track record of both these basketball teams and their history. And last night, when the Knicks end up losing after being up 96-90 with 20-something seconds left, I know that pure Knicks fans look at that moment and they start getting just flashbacks. They go back to Reggie Miller in the Garden. They go back to 1994 NBA Finals. Just all these moments in time where you sort of just say to yourself, uh-oh, like, we need to close this shit out before things get out of hand. Yesterday,
If y'all can hear that, that's just my guardian.
it's our executive producer.
The new executive producer.
It's the new executive producer, Minka, upstairs going crazy. But yeah, man, this series is single-handedly saving the first round. And I am looking forward to Game 6 tomorrow. Long and
Oh,
storied
yeah.
history,
Eric in the building.
losing big games in important moments. Yes, they both do it. So now this is a question of who's going to do it first. And also, depending on how this plays out, will this provoke or influence a certain team to go after a said player like a Devin Booker? Like, I don't know, like where there's smoke, there's fire. And with this situation, we've seen historically, like the Knicks with the team that they have will have themselves a good season. And then the following year, they sell the farm for one player, Carmelo Anthony. It's happened before. You know,
Yeah.
Knicks fans don't want to see this happen again. Before Carmelo Anthony showed up, Knicks were decent. You know, they were Amari Stoudemire, like they were winning games, they were turning things around, and you know, they wanted to take that next step forward. So it's like, will they be influenced or inclined to give up first round picks for a Devin? Because that, no matter what, Phoenix Suns are trying to get at least 2 first round picks. If Philly loses, Embiid is going to South Beach. I stand by what I say as far as Embiid asking out. He wasn't the reason the Sixers won yesterday. He was checked out.
I'm
It was
excited
Maxey.
that this is showing everybody's names.
Yeah, I just noticed
Normally
that right now.
it doesn't do that. It's Facebook user.
And it's showing it over here too.
Thank
It's
God.
usually
Now we know who's saying everything, and we can just use your names.
so whatever
Be
the
a little,
adjustment
we're
was.
a little more professional.
Whatever the adjustment was that you did, whatever buttons you were pressing earlier, now
Something
we
worked.
can see everybody's
Let's
name.
hope it stays the same next
So,
week.
Embiid staying a Sixer. You guys are thinking that he's not leaving?
I don't think
Is it
he's
more
leaving.
so because of last night that you guys are saying you don't think that he's leaving? Because last night's performance was definitely a game changer. Let me tell you something, all right? Sixers fans are happy now, walking on sunshine, but the only person that did not quit on Philadelphia last night was Maxey. Everybody else was already giving up. They were going to bed. They were turning off their TVs. They already knew. That's what happens when it comes to the Sixers. They don't have that same type of faith that they usually do when they're – it's not like when you're watching your beloved Phillies or something like that. Like, it's not the same. Maxey was the one that said, Philadelphia, I'm dragging all you guys to at least another game. And that's exactly what he did with his performance. 46 points, a career playoff high for Maxey. I don't know how many points he had.
Howard
in the fourth
Eskin of
quarter and
Philadelphia
overtime.
said it's time for the Sixers to build around Maxey.
Well, part of doing that would be trading Embiid
Embiid.
and recouping what you can get for Embiid before it's too late, because what's going to happen is you're going to hold on to Embiid longer than you should. Like,
Ew, you know what's going to happen?
Philly's done?
They're going to hold on to Embiid. They're going to keep Maxey, and they're going to sign LeBron James or something like that. Oh.
And guess who's going to be a free agent? Guess who's leaving town and who's going to make himself available? LeBron James. Bruh. Yes, Eric. Sixers keep players way past their prime. That is their DNA. It's who they are. They want to just waste time and money.
Building around an undersized guard sounds crazy. I don't know if they're going to do it, but he's the face of the franchise right now. I think he's surpassed.
He's also shown his track record is he's not good.
LeBron and Bronny to Philly.
So, like,
that's a Daryl Morey-like thing to do.
If you're going to take that route and build around Tyrese Maxey, you got to get him a legitimate big. I'm talking about a big that can actually run up the court. Not a lumbering
someone
guy
should
that's
tell
taking
him,
forever
be
to
like,
set up.
Someone needs to have the balls and tell him, like, bro, you need to lose weight.
Well, you know what? It's not going to be the same organization that enabled him. That's the same organization that had a massage table on the sidelines for him, massaging his legs while he was eating a cheeseburger. A McDonald's cheeseburger. I know what the wrapper looks like. They're not going to be the ones to all of a sudden try to. You can't feed somebody candy for dinner for years and then all of a sudden say you
lose
can't
weight
have
and
that.
hit the gym. If he would lose weight 30 pounds, it would help his knees out so much more, bro.
He's deteriorating before our eyes, dude. We're seeing it as the game progresses. He's doing less and less. Embiid to Miami.
Honestly,
you think?
Because Embiid, before he tore the meniscus, he was having a crazy ass year statistically. He was averaging 35 and 10 a game.
I mean, the wear and tear of the season.
But it also shows that they were playing him too many minutes to start the season.
Well, without him, you see what they look like when they sit. Who's going to do it? Paul Reed? There's no other option.
Listen, it's Maxey and Embiid, and that's it. This should be an NBA Jam team. Two players. That's all it should be. That's just a straight up truth.
Yeah, the choking in the playoffs is crazy. And as far as Embiid to Miami, that's something that I discussed on this podcast before.
Numerous times.
It's definitely something that we can keep an eye on. But now the new rumor mill is saying that Miami is favored to land Kevin Durant, another big piece of the on the board for NBA free agency. So this year in the NBA is going to be very, very interesting as far as free agency goes, because some big dominoes, some old heads now, in the likes of LeBron James and Kevin Durant could potentially be on the move, as well as Klay Thompson, which is another Philadelphia
KD
move
confirmed
right
to Philly. Past their prime players.
Durant and Embiid to South Beach, Bam going to the desert. And the Suns are going to play a vital part in all of this. The Suns are going to be connected to all these teams.
That's a good point, Rob. We've discussed that too on this podcast.
Well, I mean, with Giannis, like, look, you got your coach fired this year. You guys were dancing in circles after you got him fired, and you aren't even there for the playoffs for your team. So you're going to ask out now? That's kind of like, they just won a playoff game without you last night. You're going to ask out? Like, what? Cause they didn't quit on you. You're going to act like, I don't know. Like, to me, I think that he's put himself in a position right now where it wouldn't look good on his part to sit there and be like, I want out of here.
Ishba just said he doesn't want to blow up Phoenix. He believes in the team, blah, blah, blah. Well, they better do something because they ain't got a first round or a second round pick till 2030. And last I checked, we just entered 2024.
You don't have a first rounder. You don't have a real point guard that can distribute the ball. You don't have a center that can really take over the game.
That must be a ticket item.
No, Aaron Judge was trotting like he did something, but it was fool's gold. It was a pop-up. Nothing to worry about. Typical. At least he made contact with the baseball this time. Oh, the Bryce Bombers. Yeah, that's tough, man. He's
I've been said Giannis is fake. I used to like the guy, but since 2021, I can't stand his ass. Bro is dirty, but the media like him because of his smile and makes them laugh.
He knows how to play the game.
Dang, you still sound a little angry about maybe that playoff game.
He knows how to play the game, but nonetheless,
KD should have known where his feet were supposed to be.
To me, for him to sit there and say all of a sudden that he wants out of Milwaukee after this year, like you couldn't even.
But he was giving the vibes off from the start of the year, though.
Yeah, he was unhappy, and they're doing everything to cater to him.
Look up Giannis 30 plays. Should we just create a thread of this, looking up bad plays, dirty plays? Because we got one about Embiid in the chat group.
Embiid slapped the shit out of Brunson, dog.
Did you like my photo edit?
Brunson's face was red as hell going up to the free throw line. That's why he threw that dumbass pass out of bounds, because he couldn't see.
That was a nice swap I did, right? With the slap.
I
tried to make the hand huge.
Concussion protocol for freaking Brunson, because he slapped the shit out of him, dog. Like, I guess when you're gassed out, that's the only thing you can do is just start hitting people.
I'm absolutely still bitter. He injured Kyrie.
I mean, totally get it. Totally understandable. I am not on Giannis' side if it was a situation where he would ask for a trade out of Milwaukee right now. Because, like, dog, you're hurt right now.
Milwaukee should have never traded for Dame Lillard.
Hurt right now. The Dame trade was terrible. This series was supposed to be Dame Lillard's coming out party without Giannis being there. Of him showing that he's carrying the team. And he's pulling the no-show. And you're relying on the likes of Bobby Portis and Brook Lopez and Chris Middleton to be.
Bro, Embiid is unmatched too. The elbow to Jarrett Allen in 2018. It seems like you're seeing dirty because it's all your players that played for the Nets.
It's just being magnified now because it's the Knicks.
Huh.
That's the Draymond strat. When you're tired, foul. When you're outmatched, foul. When you're about to get traded, and they're going to man. I mean, we all know Embiid's been getting gassed, bro. Like, that's not a secret.
He's tired.
He's out of shape. He's not fit. He's talented with no discipline. And he's not the reason that the Sixers are still alive right now. He'd be the reason why they lost. Because his shot making, excuse me.
Is the game back from halftime so I could take WCW diet off?
His shot selection was awful yesterday. Absolutely awful. Like, Mitchell Robinson is swatting shit. He just, like, Embiid was just chucking shit up. Like,
Nets need to come back to Jersey, change it up, and give Jersey a team.
I mean, to be honest, they haven't done shit since they left Jersey.
What is this? The NBA version conversation of Dominic Sue? And then Dominic and Sue. He was dirty.
Dominic and Sue was stomping on people's chests. Like, well, then you know what? Make a trade for him. The Brooklyn Nets would be the team to do it. You guys are notorious for trying to get deals done. And nothing would be more entertaining for the forum than a trade between
that would hurt
the Nets and the Sixers.
That would hurt me, and it would hurt Andrew even more.
However, I think that it would make more sense for the Nets and the Suns to make another trade. Because the Suns need picks. The Brooklyn Nets don't know what to do with their picks.
But would Devin Booker want to go to Brooklyn?
I could see it. They already got the links to New York, right? I could definitely see a scenario where we're talking about a trade from Devin Booker going to the Nets. I don't know what that means for Bridges.
We got the Heat Celtics back on the TV, and I just feel like this series would have been tighter if Jimmy was playing.
It would have been, because we know that the Boston Celtics like to play with their food. That's just how it is with them. Definitely, probably the best version of the Celtics that I've seen in a long time is this year's version. But they still, they like to play with their food. Right now, it's 73-46. Another case of a guy that gets injured and is not there for the team. Like, just crazy how this ended up playing out. Like, it's truly the Sixers versus Knicks that's carrying this first round, because everybody else is just throwing their reserves out there.
Yeah, because they're
Kawhi
hurt.
Leonard for the Clippers.
That series is tied 2-2.
It's tied 2-2. Tip off for that is at 10-10 tonight. Big series between those two, and Kawhi's not going to be there. So, we know that, Paul George has his hiccups,
Well.
6-6.
Look who decided to show up.
Heat are done tonight. Yeah, they're definitely done. There's no doubt about that. They are done. The Celtics are going to be moving on.
Philly sucks.
What up, Mikey?
Everything in New York's ass. How about that one?
Settle down. Rangers are about to win a Stanley Cup. All right. Yankees are still technically in first place.
Jimmy wouldn't have been enough. Celtics had too much. I get that.
It would just be it wouldn't. I don't think
the Boston Celtics are their own worst enemy.
I don't think they'd be getting their heads bashed in by like 35 points right now, at least, if Jimmy was there.
State of Pennsylvania. Oh
man.
Now you said the entire state of Pennsylvania. Now you just done dragged me into this war all completely. Because guess what's going to happen in a couple months? You want to say F the entire state of Pennsylvania? Don't forget your little precious Daniel Jones and company needs to go head over to the Acrisure Stadium.
Jimmy, back to the Sixers, bro. They're not.
You coming for me, pal? You best bring it.
I don't know what they're going to do. But the Sixers need to prove that they can win a trade. Similar to the Brooklyn Nets, like, if you're going to make a trade this offseason, you got to win it. And it's almost like you're in a lose-lose, because if the Sixers don't make a trade, then we're talking about how they held on to Embiid for too long, which is going to happen. And guess what? Embiid's not going to take care of himself.
Jimmy hates the Sixers.
He does.
Brunson loves Diddy.
Boston versus Boston NBA Finals. Oh, man. I'm still sticking to Boston versus Denver, which was my original NBA Finals pick. But if anybody can...
Steelers are now unlimited. You're damn right they are.
If anybody can... potentially stop that, maybe it's the Timberwolves. Like I said it.
Porzingis gets hurt. Hauser puts up 5 threes.
Damn. The Timberwolves might not be so pretty to look at during the regular season, but like as far as the playoffs go, like they're a tough team to deal with in a series. Like they have everything. You don't realize it because we're not watching a lot of nationally televised Timberwolves games during the season, but in the playoffs, when you get to watch the team,
I watched a couple.
You see how they play. And
I was very invested in the Sacramento Kings when I put like $30 down to win $50 on them, and I watched that game go into double overtime.
Dude, it's
thankfully the Kings ended up winning
with Gobert and what he does, and Cat Williams.
But the Timberwolves, man, they're good.
They present a lot of problems. Anthony Edwards has the killer instinct. Anthony Edwards is a closer. Like he is a closer.
Listen, Mikey, you can say all you want. Guess what? The Knicks in the offseason are probably going to trade away a bunch of people to bring in Devin Booker.
Mikey, they weren't going to have the balls to trade Embiid before right now. No. This is their last opportunity. They weren't going to do it. They weren't smart enough to jump the gun on the deal. They were going to wait to the last possible minute, and this is that final hour. This is it. Because if they don't trade him now, they're not going to trade him, which means they're going to hold on to him when he literally breaks down on them. He's going to break down on them. and they're not going to have a substantial
I like
backup
Anthony
plan.
Edwards.
I do too. I like Edwards.
Bro,
Mikey,
it's a New York Knicks thing to
People
do.
are talking about it, dude. The rumor mill is buzzing, dog. Like it's something that we need to
Knicks
discuss.
thing to do.
We're doing our due diligence. I don't know
Oh
how
my
long he can keep this up
gosh.
either, but he's definitely gonna make the next series interesting. Like Nuggets versus Timberwolves is gonna be fireworks because when you think about all the matchups and the potential mismatches, maybe like who's gonna be guarding who? Like, Gobert is going to be trying to take on Jokic, and we've seen that movie before. But, like, across the board, like, it's going to be very, very interesting.
That's a 3-point foul.
Yankees win, baby. Thank God. We needed it. First place. Read it and weep. But as far as the other New York team goes, we can't sit here and
Listen,
pretend.
but Mike, you can't act like the Knicks won't do some shit like that. This man right here believes they're capable of doing that.
I don't know about LeBron to the Knicks. That ship has sailed. KD to the Knicks. That ship has sailed too. I really believed in Donovan Mitchell going to the Knicks. I remember making that claim on this podcast years ago. I thought that was going to happen.
I would love for the Sixers to bring him in.
But with Booker, bro, it feels like a New York move. I just hope you guys don't do it. I like what they're doing right now. I said it yesterday.
I'm so happy. Listen, I'm not a Boston Celtics fan, but Derek White, man, can he get some more flowers, bro?
A move that people bashed Bradley Stevens for is Derek White, saying that was going to cost them. And he has come into these playoffs in this series.
Bro, he has been solid all year. I get this man on my fantasy team every year because he is like this year he solidified himself, bro, as a starter.
That was the old
and
regime.
He's amazing, man.
I did mention how like the Knicks
regime,
before, like the Knicks would have a good season and then they go all in on a crazy trade.
I'm gonna post GIFs all day too, like you do.
It's funny, man. But I'm giving Brunson his flowers. I said it yesterday. I was like, you know what? At first, I was thinking to myself, how could Dallas not hold on to Brunson?
Yep.
But if Brunson doesn't go to New York, maybe we don't see this version of Brunson in Dallas. We see a Brunson that's deferring to Luka and waiting for Luka to do what he needs to do. Like it wouldn't be the same. Like the Knicks and Brunson just are a perfect match for each other.
Is just doing stupid shit out there.
We have enough first-round picks to make any deal look good. We don't need the picks. We need the players. We have and that is why the Phoenix Suns are going to call you because you have what they need more than anything, Mike. You have what they need more than anything.
Yeah, they do.
Picks.
Those picks mean everything.
And if we're talking about you guys not having to potentially give up too many players because you have so many picks, then they're going to try to squeeze 3 first-rounders out of you for Booker.
And your owner will do it.
You just gave the reason why the trade between the Knicks and the Suns makes sense. Because the Suns don't have a first-rounder until 2031. And guess what? On top of that, they owe Bradley Beal next year $52 million. The following year, $57 million. And then the following year after that, I don't even
there it comes. Feelings ball has just arrived, ladies and gentlemen.
LeBron White is a beast, yeah. I don't want LeBron or KD on the Knicks. They both play this out. Fuck them.
Feelings ball.
I don't think
we're playing with feelings ball instead of understanding that this is the logic. What he's saying makes a lot of sense.
A Booker trade makes sense. A LeBron and KD to Knicks that makes no sense.
LeBron's opting out right now, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, he's gonna go somewhere, but I don't like the Knicks and Booker. When you think about the variables of the equation, me on the outside looking in, looking at what the Knicks have, looking at what the Suns need, that makes a lot of sense, bro. It might not be what you want, but you can't sit here and say it doesn't make sense. I'm telling you, bro. It's something to at least keep an eye on moving forward when it comes to Booker because the Suns are realizing, like, this shit we got right here is not sustainable. It's not sustainable at all. Like, we are cooked. We have no money. We have no assets. We just got our big 3, one of which has a no-trade clause, who we are going to be paying an exorbitant amount of money to for the next 3 years.
Well, we already know LeBron's opting out. That was already leaked out today.
Yes.
And his post-game just reminded me of his post-game from
I've seen
the 2 times where he left Cleveland. KD, it's a matter of time. KD has already made a comment where he doesn't like the offensive system that Frank Vogel runs, that it's not conducive to his talents. So he's either gone or Vogel's gone. Vogel's most likely going to be the fall guy, just like Darvin Ham is going to be the fall guy. And guess what I could say to that? Maybe you shouldn't have hired them to begin with.
Or maybe both KD and Vogel will be gone. Like,
they need picks, and they're going to trade players for picks. It's that simple.
And they're only going to trade 2 guys, either KD or
now,
Booker.
The interesting wild card is Donovan Mitchell. Like, I don't understand why Cleveland's trying to get rid of him. Like, you're finally relevant, and you're trying to get rid of this guy. If I were the Sixers, I'd do whatever it takes to get that guy. The Sixers need a third scoring option. The trades this summer are going to be a carousel.
Maybe it's it's the PTSD of us seeing the Knicks give so many good players away in deals like this. But this is the point in time where you can say, hold on, we have the picks to where we can keep the players and still get another name.
LeBron goes heel and goes to Golden State.
I don't know where he goes. He's going to go wherever his son's going to go, but it's just tough to call as far as where he ends up. I really don't know.
I want Bridges.
It makes a lot of sense if he were to stay out in Cali.
Damn, I can see LeBron going heel. Embrace the heel in him. He's always keeps telling he's a hero. Brooklyn have 5-1s for Bridges.
That's crazy. How many would you give up for Booker? You guys want Mikal Bridges over Devin Booker?
Yeah, I hope everybody took over for Tatum.
What up, RJ? Hope you're doing well, bud. Miss you, man. Haven't got to hang out with you in a while. That man said 5 first.
Settle down, Mikey.
Chris wasn't feeling that. He put a stop to that.
Fantasy football trade.
Booker is a hoe. Or LeBron loves Pop. What if he ends his career? I don't know.
LeBron to get to AEW to get another title.
Like, and LeBron is going to draw this out. It's what he does. I saw in his comments when I read the post that he made as far as him talking to his family and his friends and his advisors and everybody else he's going to talk to. He's gonna do the whole take my talents to South Beach thing.
Lakers having a parade for an in-season tournament is crazy.
Just to get bounced. Just to get bounced in the first round. And I'm surprised that, his beloved faithful followers weren't sitting here talking about how Michael Jordan got swept by the Celtics. I thought that was coming. I guess they have nothing to say after he lost.
They know better. They know better.
Their argument was, at least he didn't get swept. That right? That's what it is this year. Oh, you didn't get swept like you thought. All right, just keep moving. The
Denver repeat. Back. I agree with RJ.
Yeah, me too. I think that if it comes down to Nuggets versus Celtics, Nuggets will beat them in 6, maybe 5. I think so. I think that the Nuggets face their biggest test in Minnesota, and they handle this series in 6. And yeah,
bro, I heard Knicks in 4, Knicks in 5. Now it's Knicks in 6.
Matt was screaming Knicks in 3. That shit was funny.
Yeah,
Celtics play too inconsistent, and there's going to be some games where Tatum is not going to show up, and thing is, Nikola Jokic shows up every night. Like, that's just the reality of the situation. Nick got a shot to go to the Eastern Conference Finals. I already said that.
Listen, Sixers in 9.
What up, Rick?
I mean, Matt saying, Knicks in 3. Back in 2001, that would have been true.
I heard Sixers in 4, so tell me what's crazier. Yeah, I was hearing that shit too. I was hearing that too. I was also hearing sell the team, burn the place down. We're done. We're cooked. You hear a lot of things.
So, Mike, if the Knicks lose tomorrow, is the pressure not on the Knicks to win after being up 3-1? Or is the pressure on the 7th seed?
It's equal because both teams are chokers in these big moments. Nobody has less, it's pressure on both sides. You can't take any less pressure off of the Sixers if you're talking about going into a Game 7 matched up with the Knicks. At that point, you're both equals, and one of you has to not choke. The problem is the other one will. So it's a question of who's going to choke. Because now you're talking about all the skeletons of playoff pass coming out and just roaming around the stadium while you guys are playing. And having to deal with that in what will probably end up being one of the sloppiest
Rick,
game sevens.
you might be right, Rick.
Knicks got 2 home games left. I will say this. I mean, like, you don't want to lose in Philly, New York. Like, you don't want to lose another game after the fact that you were up 6 points with less than 30 seconds left in this last game. At that point, when you're up, you got to close. You know, is Maxey going to have an out-of-his-lifetime performance like he did in Game 5? Because guess what? Ain't nobody else going to fucking do it on that team. It ain't Embiid. It's got to be Maxey Power. He's got to drop 47.
Get the massage table out. Get the cheeseburger out. And let's see what happens.
Knicks got that shit in the bag. Yeah, I'm leaning more towards the Knicks closing it out in this next game. That's what I think is going to happen.
Oh, Mikey, stop. What does it say? Right now, what you just said is a what if. What if? The fact of the matter is the Sixers are the 7th seed, the Knicks are the 2 seed. There is no. If
nobody wants to lose, but I'm talking about as far as the tug of war of momentum. Like, going into Game 7,
just because when I look at the mirror, I think I weigh 260, but I'm really 380 doesn't mean nothing.
I think that the Knicks should be able to close out because the fact is the Knicks are the better overall team. Sixers are not a good team. It's NBA Jam. It's 2 guys. And one of those guys, by the third quarter, is gassed. And Nick Nurse, with 6 minutes left in the game, you sit Embiid only to bring him back a minute later because we know what happens when Embiid sits. They're done. But you couldn't have given them that rest at the end of the third quarter,
Mikey,
starting into the
your
fourth?
prediction is null and valid. You said Knicks in 4, and that was it. Then you said Knicks in 5, and that was null and void. If I'm taking the over with your over and unders right now, I'm taking the under.
This is our baseball group chat all day long. What these 2 guys are doing right now, this is what's been happening.
You're lucky I don't care about these Sixers as much as I care about that team in black and yellow. Because I'm going to have such a fun time with you.
Yeah, because the Sixers are always going to let you down. That's the reasoning behind all the sports fans.
Knicks in 6, Cameron, enough. Chris, who do you think you are, Magneto? Telling me enough?
Hey. No spoilers. They still haven't seen it. I don't even know if they've even started it. I think Chris has watched everything but this last episode.
Yeah.
Chris still needs to watch, I think, episode 8. Mikey hasn't even started it. Embiid should be resting at the end of the second, end of the third.
No spoilers, damn it.
Yeah. when Nick Nurse,
am I the only one with that show that it's really adult oriented?
It goes hard.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
I don't know if I'd want a 10-year-old kid watching that.
It goes hard, and I will leave it at that. Nick Nurse sitting Embiid with 6 minutes left in the fourth is super spicy.
Embiid should be resting at the end of the second and the end of the third. That should be plenty in the playoff time. I can agree with that.
The plus-minus differential when he sits is crazy because the Knicks go on full attack mode when Embiid ain't on the court.
They said Knicks in 6. They out here thinking they're Walter Mercado with these predictions. Knicks better win because no one wants to see Philly get through.
Well, Philly needs to find a third scorer if they want to get through because it's just not sustainable.
I mean, if you go back in this podcast back in October, I did have the Sixers losing in the first round.
So your prediction will probably come true.
So
you didn't imagine it was going to be to the rival New York blue and orange Knicks. That's not something that you predicted.
Chris, when old girl dropped Buddy off the roof, I knew what kind of show that was.
And then they all stood there.
Stood there?
Yo, they said nothing because they were like, yo.
Only Wolverine was like, she did what we were all thinking.
Yeah, he said it. That's why they didn't make a move. They didn't scold her.
Not one single person told her no.
These ain't your granddad's X-Men, dog. I'll say that. They're not messing around. They're done. What if Brunson doesn't put up 40 shots tomorrow? Do they win? I think they have a better shot because they have other players that can score on the Knicks. Like, what if If Maxey doesn't drop 47, then what the hell happens?
Watch what you say about Walter Mercado. It's my cousin, Alex.
What up, Lex?
Nah, yo, for real.
Really getting around too. There.
I think the biggest chess piece they need Devencio to put up another 1-for-7 night behind the 3-point line. The Sixers for this to be they need the Knicks to keep missing threes because Devencio just all he does is like shoot threes and makes them.
Yeah. What's his name? Ragu? The big Ragu?
Eric replying to Rick, that's real because they can't hit shots consistently.
I don't know. If Brunson doesn't make that dumbass pass that goes out of bounds, no, we really don't know. That right there was the game.
Yeah, that pass, I was looking at it
to wake up,
and I was like, what is this guy doing?
These games out. If Maxey's off, Game 6 has the potential.
Dude, was that not a travel? Tyler Hero took like 5 steps.
2 minutes left in the third.
Oh, this game's over, bro.
Celtics 91.
This is an ass whooping. Yo, you can start to take guys and sit them, bro.
Hopefully see, this is what's worrying me about these playoffs, man. We're gonna get like 2, maybe 3 good series. Hopefully, one of them is the NBA Finals, because most of these first round series have just been.
But it's been like that ever since you created the play-in.
Beat downs. Yeah, the play-in isn't making anything better.
The play-in has not made baseball. We sat here and we criticized baseball for adding those extra wild cards and then doing a 2 out of 3. But baseball's wild card is so much better than the NBA's play-in.
More October baseball is better than more NBA playoffs. It is.
It's way better.
LeBron Durant to the Pistons next year. Ugh.
Damn.
Like that's the thing. Like the Pistons look like they're a year away from being decent. So it's like, do they?
I like Cade.
Do they like sell out a little bit to bring in? And they're in a position where they can draft Bronny.
Yeah.
So, like, is that the compelling move?
However, I did hear from CTESPN, Antonio Brown's Twitter sports news, which lately that boy's been on point with a lot of his news.
He's getting good scoops.
I'm telling you, he's been breaking shit before it happens. He did say that on his thing a couple weeks ago that Bronny wasn't going to go to the draft and he was just going to settle playing for that year in Pittsburgh, Duquesne College.
Interesting.
I did read that. And listen, everybody at first was like thinking AB was crazy, but AB's a former player. He's cool for a lot of players. That's how he's finding out all his information.
He's getting the scoops. He's having the conversation.
He's pretty much said on Twitter yesterday about the whole Steelers looking for a wide receiver. He said Steelers have a top wide receiver coming in town. A couple more details are being done to the trade.
And honestly, good for him because it's keeping him out of trouble.
Yeah.
It's keeping him out of trouble. So good for him. Be right back.
So I agree. Too many of these playoff matchups have just been abysmal. Hopefully the second round gives us some more. You know, it's going to be interesting tonight. I mean, the Mavs and the Mavs have been having a good series with the Clippers. He's stupid. I think the Mavs I think if the Mavericks win tonight, I think they're going to go to the next round, and quite possibly RJ's boy Luka could start riding a streak of his own into the Western Conference Finals. Minimal. Third quarter has just ended in Boston. The score is a staggering 98-66. If you're a Heat fan, turn your television off, start watching AEW, or tune in to ESPN and start watching some hockey playoffs, because it's time to let that one go. That is pretty much a done deal over there. Let's see what else is on the agenda, ladies and gentlemen. A lot to talk about. What we got here? Who does RJ cheer for if Dallas and Denver meet in the conference finals?
That's a good question. He would be torn. He wouldn't pick a side.
He wouldn't be able to. He loves them both.
Sorry, guys. I am losing the war against pollen. Allergies
I got
have had
paper
me in
towels right
shambles.
over there.
Oh, good. I just had to step away. It was too gross to be caught on camera.
Ah,
needed
one of
one.
those.
Yeah, man. Louis galore.
Ooh.
TMI. But yeah, that's just what it is this time of year for me, dog.
Yeah, I
It
haven't
freaking
gotten
sucks.
hit yet, but I know it's coming.
Me, my brother, my daughter, my mom. It just freaking sucks, dude.
Just speaking of which, last week for your birthday, damn, your daughter got big, bro.
Yeah. Yep.
I was feeling. Listen, that was the
wise.
first time in a while I felt 40.
Yeah, when you
because I still remember her coming in Burger King all small, like
seeing
where you're-
your seeing your friends' kids grow up, that's definitely like where it hits you, where you think about how old you are, because you think about how old they were when you remember seeing them, and now they're not that, and you're just like, damn.
I remember the first time I was like, "Oh, that's your daughter," and you were like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, you got a kid?"
Dude, it's just been it's like all the pollens are just going into my nose and just,
not coming out.
it's and it's like my eyes to an extent. It's been my eyes to an extent, but it's been more of like the whole breathing aspect of it. Like I went outside to take out the trash, and it's like our outside deck table, the dust of the pollen. By the time I went down the
Straight
stairs
yellow.
and up the stairs, dog, I was coughing, I was sneezing. I cut my grass yesterday. I could only do half. I did the front lawn because after I was doing the weed whacking, I came back inside, dog. I was in shambles, absolute shambles. The elements kick my ass.
I cut my grass on Sunday.
I remember, and I was telling you, like I was like, yeah, I got to do that. I ended up just getting caught up doing a bunch of other shit, so I ended up doing that yesterday. But it was just, oof.
Yeah.
I already didn't even answer who you would cheer for. I don't know. I don't know if he would cheer for anybody. He wouldn't be able to pick a side at that point. It'll be too much.
It'd be. He would just be like in a state of confusion.
But
like, who do I pick? Where do I go?
I heard you talking about Clippers and Dallas coming up in the next game and the potential for Dallas to take that next step forward. And honestly, when you think about it, kind of have the easier matchup as far as, you know, the Western, you know, to get into the Western Conference Finals, because you're avoiding having to play Denver. You're avoiding having to play Minnesota. And I think that when it comes down to it, Dallas is more than capable in any other scenario. Oh, no. It will be Dallas versus OKC. That would be interesting.
Jeez, man.
Because that has the potential to go 7.
Damn it.
OKC is not that bad. I know that it's lesser competition, talking about like, because the Pelicans just flat out, they stopped flapping their wings when it came to the playoffs. They played good in game 1.
Can I get some quality starts?
I don't know.
Jeez.
I don't know.
Chris Sale only goes 5 innings.
You're provoking me to check my baseball stats. That's right. Sandlot Baseball Association.
I got the W.
It's happening now.
Is Verlander still in the game? Yes, he is. Quality start. Thank you.
Bryce's Bombers over here.
And guess who's not playing yet again?
Chris, you wasted them all last week.
Gabriel Marino.
What happened, Oscar? Looking at your fantasy team, he definitely is right now.
Bro, it's 8-3, bud. I was in a worse position last week.
Offensively, Mavs. Defensively, OKC. That's what makes for an interesting matchup right there. What's up with Zion is dude, it's the same with a lot of these players, but with him, it's been a big factor in him and his development and his growth and the team's development. Like, I'm pretty sure that you have a healthy Zion in this last series, they at least can go 6 and lose to OKC in 6.
That's all right, Mike, because I'm almost at my.
He's not there again.
I'm already at my innings. I might just be dirty and just not play any pitchers for the rest of the week. Only the for sure things.
Today, when my team is hanging on with the injuries and all. Rob, you've been killing it with fantasy baseball. You just been flying under the radar with your first place in the division. You're firing on all cylinders.
But the question
you're
is,
staying out of the toxicity of the group chat. Like you're playing the game, bro.
And he has not commented at all.
You're staying out of that shit, bro. It's too much. It's too much, bro. It's 500 messages. You're not trying to scroll through all that.
I know.
Part of it.
Matter of fact, I put mute on until I turn it off.
That will help you, Oscar.
Because y'all were killing me.
Here's another one. If he would just get in shape, it wouldn't be getting injured. Same. Him and Embiid are two peas in a pod, except he's younger. He has the potential to turn this around and have more longevity to his career.
Mikey, I'm gonna beat you, bro.
Embiid is on.
Remember that.
Embiid has maybe 3 or 4 years left, maximum.
3.
Maximum.
I think 2 high tier years, and then just a regular person.
Like my dad, I don't comment, but I see everything. Yeah, you're just I don't blame you, bro. I don't blame you. And it's also because you're a Nets fan, so it can get pretty brutal in there for you really fast. Like this
will be a big win for you if you can beat me, Mike. Just trudging along as a 500 team.
Hey, every win counts, and it's a long season in fantasy baseball, and we haven't even gotten into the summer months yet. So right now, nothing is a guarantee as far as these standings. Do not fall in love with your position in the standings.
Did Seth check out?
I don't know. I think that he at least sets his lineups. I'll say that. He sets his lineups and then he checks out. I'm keeping my streak alive.
Plata or Plumo? Oh, Matt.
I'm in a tough fight right now with Terrell. Trying to figure. I think that for me, I went a little too hard with pitching because I made the mistake of basing it off of why I failed last year and just not reading the board clearly enough for this year. I love my pitching, but I don't have enough power. I'm not hitting enough home runs. And it's really showing and reflecting in my overall stats by the time we get to Friday and Saturday. And I'm losing a lot of the batting categories to some of you guys who have better hitters. I'm falling in love with first place.
I'll tell you one hitter who's about to get traded is freaking Aaron Judge.
Yeah, you got to pick your spots, Rob. That's what Drewski does.
Breaking news, star boxer Ryan Garcia tested positive for a PED the day before upset win over Devin Haney, per letter obtained by Mike Coppinger.
All fighter fans, check in on this one. We just got some breaking news on the pod. Ryan Garcia tested positive for PEDs. What do you guys think? That's crazy. Wow. What happened? A rematch?
The substance in question is Osterine, the day before and the day of his upset win over Devin Haney last month.
Wow.
Per a voluntary anti-doping association letter sent to all parties Wednesdays and obtained by ESPN. The samples were taken prior to the fight, but the results weren't known until later. Garcia has 10 days to request that his B sample be tested. Garcia's A sample also screened positive for 19-testosterone, but its presence is unconfirmed at this time. Everybody knows that I don't cheat, Garcia said in a video posted on X. Never taken a steroid. I don't even know where to get steroids. I barely take supplements. Big lies. I beat his ass.
That was his immediate response?
Yep. Garcia, 25, floored Haney 3 times during the majority decision victory, but that result now stands to be overturned unless the B sample returns negative, which is rare. Not to mention that Garcia also missed weight ahead of the fight, registering at 143.2 pounds in the WBC 140-pound fight. Haney, 25, remained the junior welterweight champion even in defeat. Osterine is a selective androgen receptor modulator which attaches to proteins in the body and effectively tells muscles to grow. It is used to aid performance by helping athletes build muscle mass and enhance their rate of fat loss. Well, maybe I should look into this. And also to increase staining and recovery ability. It's been on the World Anti-Doping Agency's banned list since 2008 and in 2022 was listed as an anabolic agent by WADA. Wow. Breaking.
I just saw the picture that you sent me, Eric.
Yeah.
The LeBron wants to hold on to the hair so bad because he's scared that if he shaves his head bald, that people are gonna, like, oh damn, you're trying to be the GOAT so bad. But folks, he's never gonna be Michael.
Or is that because
I wonder he looked like Thor out there? That's crazy.
The occultists are trying to find ways to make him look bad because of all the things he said about the evil shit that goes on in the world.
Garcia?
Yeah.
Who knows, man? That's crazy for that to come out not even a week after that fight goes down.
Yeah.
Just tagged you in the video he posted. Osterine and what else was it?
Hold on. Go back to it. I hate this updated app, man.
When it comes to MLB and boxing, bro, there's always some shit. There's always something. There's always somebody doing something, bro.
Can't find that damn big ass
dropped off first round again. He's not GOAT. Never was. Never was.
Who?
LeBron. We already settled that dispute. We settled that dispute years ago. It's just that side never wants to stop with it.
They got
their play-in tournament.
Where am I at?
So
now that you're here, I meant to tag you on Twitter, but I know you don't go on Twitter that often.
Nah.
Because I needed backup. Okay.
And I can go for days.
So
I won't stop.
This is The Athletic. This was a post from just yesterday. The Lakers are open to drafting Bronny James this June to help fulfill LeBron James' dream of playing with his son, team sources tell Shams. Bronny announced earlier this month that he will enter the 2024 draft. Jamil Hill, former ESPN person. This is what she quoted that tweet. Makes perfect sense for the Lakers to draft Bronny. This is the equivalent of the Lakers giving $50 million or so on his way into giving Kobe $50 million or so on his way into retirement. It's why major stars want to play for the Lakers. The franchise values keeping stars happy. LeBron is going to keep fans in seats as long as he's there.
Oh, Chris.
That's worth drafting his son. And good old me, couldn't help myself. What about this is what I tweeted. What about the fans who want to see their team win and not just keep players happy? That team with Bron is all about image and not about champions. So somebody commented after me and says, what was the team before LeBron got there? And then, he had a cheerleader of his own. They trip and the haters could stay pressed. So this is what I said to dude.
Those are LeBron fans. They're not even Laker fans. That's the crazy thing.
This is what I said to dude afterwards.
LeBron fans don't give a shit about the Lakers.
And the person hasn't said nothing or quoted me back since I dropped this bomb on him. People don't talk about Bron winning a bubble title or a meaningless in-season tourney championship. Lakers front office keeps making bad move after bad move to keep players happy.
LeBron happy. They're not keeping players happy. There's nobody else there that's happy. He's not even happy. And at the end of the day, you guys are the freaking...
And I got about 20 retweets on that one.
You guys are the freaking Los Angeles Lakers. And yeah, he didn't even respond, so you shut that whole conversation down.
He never responded back or anything.
At the end of the day...
I wanted to tag you in.
You guys are the Los Angeles Lakers. And what you need to understand about LeBron James fans is they don't give a shit about the team that he plays for. It's all about him, his personal accolades, and his stats, and his numbers. They don't give a shit that he goes from team to team and absolutely destroys them and leaves nothing in his wake. The reason why the Miami Heat are able to maintain their relevancy and continue to be a competitive basketball team is because of the Miami Heat culture and that being stronger than any other area where LeBron went. We saw what he did when he went to Cleveland. We're seeing what he's doing when he goes to LA. But at the end of the day, Lakers, you got to have the balls to be willing to move on from this situation and move on with your lives. You're the Los Angeles Lakers. You guys are famous for going out there and being able to get whoever you want whenever you want to get them. You guys can go out there and make a move for KD right now if you want. You got to be. They have to be willing to be done playing Simon Says with LeBron James, because not for nothing, outside of the bubble title and your little play-in tournament championship, Lakers haven't been shit for a couple years. You got nothing. Nothing but early exits and the inability to get past the Denver Nuggets these last couple of years. That's all you've got. This whole marriage has not worked out outside of the bubble.
Nobody really counts those titles either, which is crazy. I think nobody counts those titles that the Dodgers and the Lakers won in those bubble years
Nobody remembers that shit.
because they haven't done nothing since then.
Nobody remembers that shit. Nobody was.
The Buccaneers still had good seasons left afterwards.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I don't think hockey ever even came back that year.
The Dodgers, with the Dodgers, it was just one of those things where it's been so long, and all we wanted for them to, we said to ourselves, they just need to win one. So they did it.
But they did it with no fans
when there was no fans. They did it, like, to their credit. So it's like we kind of eased off when it came to the Dodgers. It's like, okay, whatever. But after that, this year it's going to be interesting to see as far as like what they do. But for the Lakers, bro, like, you run this shit back with this guy, you're going to be the same basketball team. You don't get that? Like, you're not going to get any better with LeBron. He's not going to make you any better. Dog, I am so tired of sitting there in these big game situations and watching AD limp around, grabbing his shoulder, grabbing his hip, grabbing his arm. Like, the Lakers play the same basketball game over and over. It just so happens that they managed to win Game 4.
Mm-hmm.
Something about watching the beating is entertaining. But like the show is over. Just like it's time for the Sixers to move on from Embiid, it's time for the LA Lakers to move on from LeBron James. Go back to being the Lakers. I'm sure that true Lakers fans are over it. I saw it for myself in the post the night they got eliminated. A lot of them were posting, and I quote, "This is the last time you see LeBron James in a Lakers jersey." That's just that's their wishful thinking. They don't want that anymore. They don't want to have to deal with that circus anymore. They're tired of seeing it, just like I'm tired of seeing it. You think they both stay, Eric? AD and LeBron both stay in LA? I mean, then it's a question of who do they bring in, because they need help.
So
obviously.
So basically, if he opts out, you're going to sign LeBron again to a max deal. Where's your money for your depth?
Give him a mini max, not a full max.
He needs to start taking less money. I'm sorry to say that, but he's not Kobe Bryant to the Lakers. That franchise owes him nothing. Nothing.
So you're going to give LeBron a max deal. You're going to keep AD knowing the injury risks that come along with him, and then you're going to blow one of your draft picks on his son. Like, the Lakers right now are being held hostage.
What is Jeannie Buss doing?
They're being held hostage. She's running the Lakers like Dixie Carter runs TNA. Like, you're being held hostage to the demands
When is
of LeBron
Pelinka
James.
going to stop with it?
Dame is
like,
leaving.
Like, Pelinka's just a LeBron guy, right? Like, come on, dude. They'll set themselves back another 5 to 10 years.
Get ready to see the Lakers in every lottery. The night that the NBA lottery draft goes, you're going to see them in the top 3 holding up their little sign every year. Just,
bro,
like, LeBron's going to retire. And then
Jerry Buss, if he was alive, would never have allowed this.
No, he'd be trying to compete to win a championship. Like, you can't sit there and tell me that this team is a championship caliber team. They're not. The West is only getting tougher. OKC Thunder, hell, OKC Thunder might get eliminated soon, but they're going to keep getting better. They're a young team, and they're going to keep evolving. Like, you have to be able to read the room and look at what's going on in your conference and realize that there's a lot of young and up-and-coming basketball teams that are
LeBron is going to be the Adonis
way.
Haslam of the Lakers.
Jeez. Embiid stays and LeBron stays. It's funny, man, because it's like it's typical of the Sixers to hold on, but it's like if you're the Lakers, like it makes you wonder, like, why are you playing this game?
You're gonna give him a max deal.
Like, why are you playing this?
This man is 39 years old, and you're gonna give him a max deal.
That would be sick. They give him a max deal. They draft his son, and they just continue to have a roster with just no. Bro,
depth, I don't want to hear anybody say anything about the Sixers if the Lakers do that.
No, you guys deserve criticism too.
Like,
you're both fools. You're both.
They gotta be worse.
It is worse because the Lakers' DNA is championships. Like, for them, it's about winning championships. It's not just about pissing around.
They don't need LeBron to win, bro.
They aren't even willing to give themselves a shot without him. They don't want to give up LeBron. He is the reason people fill the stands. Lakers have had plenty of players.
Let's talk about the 20-point game they had and they lost. Let's talk about the fact that LeBron should have ran that ball up for winning, like drove into the lane.
The missed three?
Instead of that missed three. Because the chances are LeBron drives the lane, gets the layup, and gets the foul. And guess what? It's still a 3-point foul. It's still a 3-point play.
At least when you drive, you can at least get 2 out of that.
Like,
3 that you missed.
What?
And then Jamal Murray with the dagger shot that he hit on them to end the season. Like, that's what you're going to have to deal with. Like, the Nuggets are not really an old team. They're still going to be around for a few years. OKC is coming. I mean, damn, bro is almost 40, but if he could help.
Well, if you do a solid rebuild, Eric,
win one more
I get it. Without LeBron, who are they watching? I get it. I 100% get it.
They can get stars, bro.
But you can't give a guy that's about to be 40 a max deal.
The Lakers can get KD. The Lakers can get themselves an Embiid. The Lakers can get whatever star player is available because the Lakers have done that throughout the history of time. LeBron James should not have to change the entire DNA of what the Los Angeles Lakers have been since before LeBron James was a thing. Like, the Lakers didn't get 16, 17 championships off of the back of just catering to
Bro, he's going to
player.
leave LA again. Listen, he leaves LA. He's going to leave them in shambles just like he left Cleveland twice.
Like, what are they now with LeBron and AD? A first-round exit. They're not going to be any better than what they are right now. At least give yourself the chance to like develop a team that can actually evolve. And who knows? There are young players there that, I like Hachimura. I like Reeves.
Wow, so Paul, this is a great comment. Sixers aren't as bad because they have never had a dynasty of winning. Lakers, as much as it kills me to admit it, are a franchise of going right now. They got garbage.
Yeah, their pedigree is just different.
The Sixers are used to mediocrity and moments of greatness.
Yes, I agree with that. And Eric, you're right too. It's the Sixers way. Just wait until you can get the least amount for them, and just the fan base is just gonna. You want to talk about filling seats? Good luck going to Wells Fargo and filling seats with Sixers fans. Even if the organization is the one buying the tickets, nobody's gonna go to watch that team. When Embiid's gone, nobody's gonna go to watch that crap. They are going to be in the lottery right next to the Lakers. Just sitting right next to each other.
I don't know, man. If I'm a Lakers fan, I'm not happy. If I'm a Lakers fan, I'm pissed.
Yeah, because the bar is different.
If you're a Bron fan, you're loving this.
If you're a Lakers fan, you're about the Lakers. You're not about that one particular player. And you are in this space right now where it's just like, you're not getting any better, and it can only get worse. And none of the things that are going to happen this offseason that don't include moving LeBron James are going to get you any closer to winning a championship. They're not going to win a championship next year with this roster. Without this roster, they're not going to do it. But you need time to actually, you can't grow like this. They're not growing. They look just
like
how
Nick Wright is with all this.
They look just like the Cavs looked at the end. They
LeBron
look just like every
James,
team looks like.
Here we go. LeBron James.
Only Knicks fans when they come to town.
Is doing something at an egregious level.
Yeah, I'm tired of hearing about that too. It's like nobody at
39
this age,
years old
and
is putting up points like no one else has ever done in the NBA.
Because anybody else not named LeBron James that was doing what he's doing and getting bounced early, people would say it's time for them to walk away.
Yep.
Like, stop giving this guy so many passes, bro. He's not the GOAT. He's not. They're sick of it. Lakers fans have been sick of it.
I know a couple Lakers fans that are tired of him that never wanted him.
Like, a couple years back, they were outside of the Staples Center, rioting, not rioting, but just protesting the team because of what was going on.
This is not what Jerry Buss did.
Yeah.
I watched that Lakers TV show, and I know a lot of it was probably fabricated to get people going because, it's for TV. But everything I read about Jerry Buss, it was about winning.
You know what's crazy? Lakers fans don't even brag about the bubble.
That the attraction wasn't the player, it was the team.
Yes.
That's how he had it. People want to come to LA because we win.
Yeah.
Now it's we come to LA because it's LA.
Like bro, the Lakers helped write the story of basketball in the 1980s. You knew that you were building to the showdown with the Boston Celtics. They were the class of the East and the class of the West. And it came down. You knew you were getting out of the West because you knew you were the best team in the West.
Nobody wanted to be in the bubble, Eric. The only person that wanted to be in the bubble was LeBron.
Lakers,
because he realized, like, I can win this.
Lakers fans don't even brag about the bubble. They don't use Lakers fans don't use the bubble in any argument. They are willing to just not discuss it because it doesn't mean shit.
Woohoo!
It doesn't mean shit. It really doesn't.
Woohoo!
LeBron fans are the ones that argue and use the bubble to their argument. It's LeBron fans. LeBron fans will watch the Lakers burn. They don't care about the Lakers. It's two different audiences. I said that a couple years ago. There's Lakers fans and there's LeBron fans. They're not rooting for the same things. They don't give a shit about the future of the basketball team. 118-84 is abysmal in a playoff game. Yeah, that's pretty rough. But, Boston did what they were supposed to do. They didn't play with their food tonight. They went out there and they destroyed them. And now they wait. They wait to see what comes next. And what comes next for Boston is a matchup with either the Cavs or the Magic. And if anybody's been following that series, like, either one of those teams right now, the way that they're playing is going to end up getting destroyed by Boston. Barring some type of, I don't know, inspirational locker room pep talk. I had high hopes for the Cavaliers, but I don't know, man. They're just the inconsistencies with them, and then you playing a Magic team that's also inconsistent, and you're going back and forth, like blowing each other out. It'll be Celtics in 5, maybe.
Yep.
If not a sweep. It'll be Celtics in 5, if not a sweep, and then they're going to be waiting to see who makes it to the Western Conference Finals. Eastern Conference Finals. Sorry. It's an okay series. I guess by default, it would be the third best, only because like nobody's getting swept in that series. I said that the Clippers and the Mavericks was the second best series because 2-2, but I don't know. I've watched some of the Cavs and Magic, and it's just been like,
yeah,
it's been rough. Cut the dreams of the Heat to pieces. Next, yeah, I agree.
That's old news.
I think that Boston next round wins in 4 or 5 because Cavs and Magic ain't ready for that, especially with the way guys like Derek White and are playing, which is. You want all the contributions you can get now that we know that Porzingis is not going to be in the picture for a little bit. Yes, absolutely. They're almost mirror images of each other. So if they were going up against a higher class basketball team, they'd definitely be getting rocked right now. So definitely going to be interesting to see.
Jordan losing the second time in a row to Detroit Pistons in 1990. Shakes their hands and gives them credit. LeBron losing the second time in a row to the Denver Nuggets, walks off the court without shaking anyone's hands and makes excuses.
Sore loser. Emphasis on the loser part. A lot of people can't handle it. If you're winning, it's all smiles and it's all good, man. All love, cracking jokes.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're losing, that truly shows the measure of a man. I'd rather the series be 6 games at least. The Cavs and the Magic can't go 6. They're not capable. They're going 6 with each other because they're both inconsistent as hell.
What the hell is the NBA matchups? Oh, it's just the Mavs and the Clippers tonight?
Porzingis comes back for the Eastern Conference Finals. But then again, you think to yourself, if the Celtics wrap up business in the next round too fast, maybe you don't get Porzingis back for game 1, depending on how fast this next series gets done. So for the series to go longer, it would, I guess, benefit, Porzingis, give him more time to heal.
I can see it going 6 if Boston starts seeing their shadows.
I can definitely see that as far as Boston seeing their shadows, but they need a team with the caliber that can, they need a team that can bring that out of them. And I don't see it yet, I just don't see it yet.
I agree.
I don't like my team getting long rests.
Yeah, I don't think anybody does.
Too many
I think
days
that's
off,
why,
cold hands.
in another sport, in the Phillies, as a Phillies fan, I kind of like the fact they play wild card weekend. It's damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you play wild card weekend, you keep your momentum going. But you also get tired because you're playing more games, say, when you play other teams that didn't have to play the wild card round.
But you're also kind of like you're on a roll.
You're on a roll
because you've been
baseball's
playing,
about momentum.
Yeah, it's about momentum. You're on a roll, and it's coming in, and you got guys that.
It's the same thing with the NFL. Like that team playing wild card weekend, 9 times out of 10 is going to keep rolling. But lately, that's been surmassed because of the whole. How can I say, 7th seed in football, when it was, the two buys would hurt. Like, you were getting upsets all the time.
Mm-hmm. It would not work into the advantage of the teams that would get the buys. It's just how it was. And some teams are the type of teams that take that time and get their preparation in. A team like the Kansas City Chiefs, they're good with a bye because they have Andy Reid. Andy Reid is one of the best coaches in history when it comes to bye weeks. Nobody's better. There's other teams that they need to play every week just to get that momentum going, to keep it rolling. No days off, because those days off come back and bite you in the ass, and you just don't have the same energy coming out there against a team that's just ready to, when you think about it, these playoffs a lot of times are like a sloppy fight. It's all about who can connect first. It ain't pretty a lot of times, but whoever connects with that big punch usually is the team that's getting to that next round. Very few teams actually do well with the prep time. That 1 seed just puts a big target on your back with a lot of teams. And they just don't fare well. San Francisco does pretty well with buys, I would say, for the most part. They do good with that.
That's their normal thing.
Yeah, then you have other teams.
They love the buy.
You have other teams like a Green Bay Packers team, teams that do well when they have to play that first week because they get it out of their system and you get some of the kinks out. And we played, we're here, the road warriors mentality when it comes to the wild card, especially when you're just sneaking into the playoffs and that at that point, you barely got in and it's a whole new season. San Francisco choke artists. They got issues closing themselves.
Kyle Shanahan has issues closing.
They cannot close. San Francisco needs to close, and they're going to be in the exact same situation this year. They're going to be in the same situation this year. How about them Padres, dude? That video is crazy. Anybody who hasn't seen it yet,
that was from the playoffs a couple years ago.
The Padres had this fight song where they were singing about the Phillies, and
Phillies whooped their ass.
Yeah, they got their ass beat. That's one of the funniest videos I've seen, dude. The cute little singers.
4 games to 1. We beat them in 5 games.
That wasn't from this year. That was from
That was from the year that the Phillies went to the World Series 2 years ago.
I never saw that video until today. That shit was so funny, dog. Let's go, Goose. I was like, what is this? They are the reason why the Padres lost that series.
I don't know. The Chiefs three-peating.
They just picked up Hill 2.0.
That's tough, man. You're getting.
I know that they'll be there. I know that to get out of the AFC, you're going to have to go through Kansas City because nobody else has shown that.
Well, the Chargers shouldn't be such pushovers this year because their coach ain't a pushover.
You know,
he's going to be he's a coach that's going to get in your face and let you know
it starts
like this shit ain't working.
I think that he took
his first year as a 49ers coach, he took to the NFC title game. Remember they upset the Saints? The Saints were heavily favored in that
One of my
playoff
first
game.
Yankee game this Saturday in like 15 years. Enjoy it, bro. I'm super excited. I'm going to be going to the Yankees versus Phillies on the July 29th and July 30th.
You got back-to-back games?
Back-to-back days of Yankees versus Phillies, so I'm super excited about that. I'm going to be sure to be taking plenty of pictures for that. So I hope you enjoy, brother. As far as the Chiefs go and as far as the Chargers go, I think that the entire AFC is hoping that the Chargers can show up and at least take one from Kansas City, because that helps the entire conference. If your division can become a little bit more challenging. We know that the Denver Broncos are dead in the water already. We know that.
Yeah.
We already know what the Vegas Raiders are going to do. You know, they're not in the same space as Denver, but they're also
The Jets are the wild card.
Well, with Antonio Pierce, the Raiders can potentially make a little push, little 8-9, but I don't know if 8-9 is going to cut it.
Listen, the wild card's the Jets. If Aaron Rodgers is healthy, that team's going to be a problem.
And according to him, he wants to play another 3 or 4 years. So
everybody wants to be Tom Brady.
But Aaron Rodgers says a lot of things. You know, he says a lot of things. Get there early, get your Garrett Cole bobblehead. KC loses 2 division games. So it will be 1 to the Chargers and 1 to the Raiders. The Broncos ain't going to beat them. And the Raiders beat them last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Didn't they beat them twice?
And we know early in the season.
Didn't they beat them twice?
I don't know.
Or is that just once?
Early in the season and this past season during the regular season, Kansas City was looking rough for a few stretches. I still remember the game against Green Bay. That photo that was circulating of me in the Hawaiian rolls, drunk out of my mind.
That was that game.
That was the Chiefs and Packers game that I was watching up close in my living room, where the Chiefs ended up losing that game. But they turned it on when they needed to.
No, the Chiefs beat them 31-17 the first time.
I figured.
And then they beat the Chiefs 20-14. Yo, they made the Chiefs look foolish.
Yeah, if they lose to the Broncos, that will destroy a lot of tickets.
I mean, the Broncos beat them this past year.
Zach Wilson, that's going to be the quarterback. I got the script when I got the NFL package. I mean, for the amount that they charge people, they should at least give you the script along with it.
Yeah.
Put the script in the box.
Let me know what I'm going through.
Give people something to read. Yeah, like let us know what to expect. If you're trying to charge people $500 for that package. But yeah, man. In 3 weeks, May 22nd, we will be here on the podcast live doing our Dynasty draft for the Kingpins Dynasty League. Super excited about that. Year 1 of this Dynasty League. It's the rebuild of the remnants of the Champions Dynasty League. We're starting fresh.
Does everybody understand that's in that league? It's a 3-year commitment. I don't want to hear no bullshit after year 2.
I think that everybody that's involved right now has a better understanding of Dynasty. Just don't screw your team up too fast to where you don't want to play with them anymore. It's 3 years.
Yeah.
You got to give us 3 years. Take your time. Don't give away everything too soon. And, guess what?
Don't be the Rams and say F them picks.
I mean, you can, but at the same time, just know that that's your choice, and you're setting yourself up for what your next 3 years are going to be. Kingpin Dynasty, yep. Definitely let you know, bro. You know that we always got people on standby in case anything happens, because around draft season, we know that shit comes up, bro. I don't have commitment issues. Oof. Yeah, it was.
I kind of know where that's going.
Dude,
I'm going to just stay quiet.
With Dynasty, it was the first time for a lot of us when we first jumped into it a couple years back, so it was a learning curve for a lot of us. But now that we know and that we have these couple years under our belt, this is the 3rd year of us doing Dynasty football now. So it's like we're ready. I'm excited for this new league. I'm excited for the group that we have together. And it's going to be a lot of fun, bro. It's going to be a lot of fun to see who can build that dynasty within that grouping. And then we can, after 3 years, discuss what we're going to do as far as want to do another 2, want to make it 3, whatever. Oh, Discord's going off.
Shit.
Yeah, man. We got that draft coming. I figure that, Usually when we do live draft episodes on podcast night, Oscar is in shambles. So I'm going to make sure that I have some content prepared for us to discuss while we're drafting. And I'll leave the I guess the Oscar can be the live draft notification as far as who gets picked. So it's going to be fun. I'm excited for that. It just shows that we are actually pretty close to football season already. It doesn't seem that long ago, but a lot has been happening in between football and where we are now with baseball and basketball and everything, sports betting, all that good stuff. So lo and behold, Kingpin's Dynasty is going to kind of set off like, the beginning of training camp and football. It can't be nothing like the gauntlet in his basement. Oh yeah, we're spreading it out, bro.
The gauntlet of blunts.
What's up with that? Oh,
I sent you a message, Chris.
Yeah, man, I'm excited about that. Next week we'll be talking more about who survived. Did the Knicks close it out, or will we end up getting a Game 7? And who's gonna? By the time we get to next week's podcast, that series is going to be over. That looked good.
Breeze Treats. Get your orders in. Hit my daughter up. Facebook or Instagram. Get these treats. Shit's banging, dog.
Mother's Day.
And I'm not saying that just because it's my kid. She's got a Mother's Day package, too.
Mother's Day's around the corner. Stay tuned for the Mother's Day's package.
She will deliver.
If you're scratching your head trying to find a good Mother's Day gift, hey.
She will deliver. I'll have a new menu up, and I'll post it in all the forums. Yes, that is strawberry.
Yes.
She does strawberry. She does Oreo. She's going to be doing pretzel dips, pretzel rods. She's got plenty, she's got a great creative mind, and the foods taste good. So I'm telling you, she's doing pancakes, so the whole nine. You think of it, she's doing it. Just hit her up and ask her what the menu is this week, and she'll gladly give it to you, and you can hit her back up, and she'll deliver in the Violent Millville area.
Yep. I'll keep sharing. Every time she posts a picture, I'll keep sharing it onto my page so you guys can see what's going on. The orders are never always
Chris, your cousin must be like having a conniption right now that Okada's going to be in the ring with Omega again, like for the first time since, the Japan days.
Oh, he's marking out right now. Nick is funny.
I've never been good with buying people gifts like that. I tend to dip in it. Hey, just fix up a little corner of it.
Yeah, cover it up. Take a little scoop. Always scoop from the corner, and then just cover it up. There's icing, so you take the icing,
grab a little butter knife,
make it look nice.
Scrape it on the side.
Yeah, you gotta just do a little bit of surgery on it, and maybe she'll be none the wiser. But she's known you for so long that she probably knows that you probably took a scoop out of it. She's gonna know.
It's very good.
If you're gonna go and take a big ass scoop out of it, then then
that's on you.
Yeah, that's on you, bro. Like there's no.
We're giving you tips on how to make it look good.
We're talking about little edges, but if you're going to try to take the whole thing, then you know what? Then buy two. Buy two, stash yours, and restrain yourself from messing with her.
Listen, if you can't find her information, you can always hit me up and ask you what you want. And I can get that done for you, and I can send the price down to you.
Guys, appreciate you guys tonight. Paul, Chris, Rob, Eric.
Also, Celtics fans ran this place today.
Love the conversation. But they brought it with the basketball conversation. They were whooping the Miami Heat's ass so bad that they tuned into the podcast and just were hanging out with us because the game itself was just already over. So,
I'm not mad. Keep it going.
So, we appreciate you guys. Knicks and 6. Omega just got punched.
Yeah.
Now he's on the ground.
Who the hell's Jungle Jack Perry?
Next week, we'll be here, same time, same place, breaking down the Elite 8 of the NBA playoffs, as well as more basketball talk, Sandlot Baseball Association, and more updates as far as the NFL, potentially this whole Ryan Garcia news, which I'm going to look into when I get off of here. And whoever's got any news on it, share it in the forum. For those of you who are not in the On the Money Sports fan forum, you are missing out on the best sports conversations and comedy fodder and posts and all that good stuff that's going around. Nobody has more fun than us as far as sports. I know that for an absolute fact. We do it the best. And the fact that right now we are at 532 members is crazy.
Turn off
when
that
we
Mud
think
Show
about it.
Wrestling.
Diet WCW, bro.
I give it a chance maybe I'm the fool.
He always flicks the channel over while we're live. You know, we'll have baseball, we'll have basketball going on, but he'll always flick the channel over just to see what's going on. Usually when he flicks it over, it's Edge on TV. But you know what I mean? We appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thanks for the compliment on the pod tonight. You guys are the reason that it was even better with your input and your feedback. And you know, the basketball IQs were flowing tonight, man. Like, it's a great sport, great to talk about it, great to discuss it. And we are heading into a very pivotal time period within the NBA because of the fact that some of these big wigs are going to be available again. And so now it's bold prediction season. And we're talking about who's going to end up going where. Because for sure, I don't know if I fully agree with Eric. I think some people, some faces are going to be in new places. But we just got to see what happens. Oh, Money, any final thoughts?
Go Sixers. See you guys.